So I'm sitting in the dark outside the kids' therapy building, and I have a lot of time, and I've been thinking of putting some of my thoughts into video for myself. But if anybody ever watches this, that's all this is. Because I think the days just keep going by, and I'm learning things, and I'm growing, and I'm also processing things, and some of it's just there. And I just wanted to get it out there before I forget everything that I've gone through, everything I've experienced. Or at least feel like I have this outlet, because it just doesn't feels like homework on paper. Feels like it's homework when I'm writing it down. So I today has been better with the kids. This past week has been better with the kids, especially with Aaliyah, because things have been so hard with her for years. And JR's been cooking up a storm, making everything organic, and the kids are responding, and especially Aaliyah, she's responding greatly. And it's almost unbelievable how much things are changing for her and for us. And at least this week has been really good. I guess you never really know what's going to happen, but this week has been good. And I've been thinking just about other things, because it feels like I'm not in a crazy survival mode where I'm just trying to just get by, and you're just constantly waiting for the next shocking bad thing to happen, just constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop and to have to take care of something horrible. That's how it had been feeling for a long time. And things this week just felt different and hopeful and calmer, even though it's still pretty, I mean, there's a lot of instability, but it's nothing like what it was. So I have time to think and to feel, and I both like it and I don't like it. It's kind of overwhelming, thinking and feeling, and not just trying to make it from moment to moment. When you're just in survival mode, I mean, I thought a lot in survival mode, but now I feel like if I'm not just trying to make it, then I'm thinking a lot more about the past, or about the future, or about things that aren't resolved, or things that I'm worried about in completely different ways. Like, if I'm not in my spiritual life focused on God just getting me, like, please help me to learn how to get through the storms and somehow carry myself with joy and purpose through the storms. But it's always like, this desperation with God. But now I'm like, oh gosh, if I'm not in desperation, that's a whole different, there could be whole different things that God is working with me on, and whole different problems that I face. And it's a little bit overwhelming to think about not being in survival mode. So I've been thinking about that today, and there was a lady I was talking to in the lobby at Cortica, and she was asking me about the kids in school and their IEPs, and we haven't gone to a lot of trouble to get advocates or, specialized people to really help us get great IEP plans and, secure all kinds of services. We just haven't focused on that. And I felt kind of embarrassed and ashamed, because she's like, well, we of course have an advocate, and like I'm preparing weeks in advance for this, and it hasn't been a huge priority, because we've been so focused on, physically and emotionally, the kids, especially Aaliyah, they feel like they're falling apart. and every moment is scary, or it can just feel like we have to fix this physical thing going on because there's no moving forward in any other way, like school wise or communication wise or any way at all, unless we figure out why they're so miserable and unable to cope. So it hasn't been a focus, but I already feel like we're stretched so thin. It already feels like there's so much that I'm working on already to try to make things better for our family and better for the kids. It's hard to imagine taking on something else and potentially having a stressful situation with the school. I wouldn't be excited about that, but I'm not unwilling if it's the best thing to do. But I feel overwhelmed thinking about everything, and I just wanted a chance to put it out there, hoping it would help me to collect my thoughts and be a reference point in the future. So here I am.